And this passage we've read tonight in 2 Timothy to open up with, where he says, "Don't be ashamed of the testimony of the Lord, nor of me his prisoner." He's literally in prison, writing this letter. But yet he's still bold, right? He's still doing the work of God. He doesn't get discouraged because things aren't going his way. Whatever situation he finds himself in, he makes the most of it. And I think that for us, there's some relevancy to that in the day and hour we're living in, that regardless of what kind of situation or circumstance we find ourselves in, God can use us for his glory. We just have to have that boldness and that confidence and that courage to stand up and represent the Lord. 1 Thessalonians chapter 2. Actually, is it first or second? Two different things, so I gotta verify this. Slideshow says one thing and my book says another, so now I'm questioning myself. Give me just a minute here, I'll tell you which one it is. Second Thessalonians chapter 2. Actually, hold on. It is 1 Thessalonians. First Thessalonians chapter 2 and verse 2.
Okay.
Good thing we got our Bibles because the slideshow is wrong. The book says one thing, the slideshow says another. The slideshow is wrong. 1 Thessalonians chapter 2 and verse 2. So Paul also wrote the book of 1 Thessalonians as well, to the church that was in the city of Thessalonica. So, someone had that? Want to go ahead and read it?
I got it.
You want to read it again? All right, go for it.
And suddenly there came a sound from heaven as of a rushing.
What book are you in, brother?
1 Thessalonians chapter 2.
Verse 2?
Verse 2.
Sound like you're in the book of Acts.
Yes.
Yeah, Acts.
Oh, yeah, right.
That's a good passage too.
Okay,
We're good with that one too.
Okay, Thessalonians first and chapter what?
2 verse 2. I knew you
Okay.
had it. That's why I was surprised when you started reading. I was like,
Okay, okay. But even after that, we have suffered before, and we are shamefully entreated,
Entreated.
as we know, at Philippi,
Philippi.
we were bold in our God to speak unto you to the gospel of God with much contention.
Right. So what Paul is saying here is, so Philippi is a city, and Thessalonica is another city. These are cities. And what Paul is saying is here, we were preaching in Philippi and we came under great persecution. There was a lot of contention, a lot of suffering that arose as a result of preaching the gospel. So they left Philippi and they came to Thessalonica. And even there, after what they had experienced in Philippi, they preached in Thessalonica with boldness. We were bold in our God to speak unto you the gospel of God. Again, that word boldness, or depending on your translation, it might be a different word, but the emphasis on boldness there. What I want us to think about, and I'll open this up as a discussion question here. Think about Paul's life, right? He started off as a persecutor of the church. God called him, transformed his life. Then he becomes a missionary, an apostle, and he's establishing these churches. He's going from city to city, preaching the gospel, coming under persecution, coming under hardships. Eventually gets thrown in prison, and then he finds himself in jail. And I don't know about you, but I don't really want to be in jail. But that's where he found himself. But how did his faithfulness, because that's really the consistent strand throughout his life, regardless of the experiences he faced, that he was faithful to preaching and teaching the gospel. And so, how did that lead him to having a greater audience.